Grand Rising Overcomers. I want to talk to you this morning about being intentional about your healing journey. If this is your first time seeing a video of mine, my name is Yvonne Bentley. I'm a faith coach, helping others to change their minds so that they can begin to see the world change around them. So, about 8 years ago, I decided to be very intentional about my healing journey. I realized that I was broken, I was damaged goods. I had this hurt little girl running my world. So, I was intentional about being single. I was intentional about not having sex, having like any little sneaky links or anything like that, because I realized that I was broken, I was hurt, I didn't love myself, and I started to become clear about what I wanted in my life. So through I would say these past 8 years, what I have learned, and when it comes to being, when it comes to healing. And let me state this disclaimer: I do not claim to be a doctor nor a licensed physician, but a coach who provides the same tools to others that I use to help me to deal and heal, confront, to overcome. So Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as a man think in his heart, so is he." So what I've learned is that the heart and mind, they're married, right? They're like a husband and wife that work together to two become one. And I hear a lot of times people saying, choose what's in your heart instead of what's in your head. Well, what I've learned is that the things that are in our heart actually is connected to what we think from what has taken place in our life, and that's how we make decisions, find ourselves in certain relationships and all that. So after being very intentional about healing for 7 years, being single, I ended up being in a relationship last year. It was toxic. It did not last long, thank God. And with it not lasting long, this morning I was reflecting and was saying, okay, Ivor, you found yourself with someone opposite from what you really truly desire and deserve, but you did not let it last that long. It was like 3 months, and I had to really reflect this morning and look at the growth, right? Because we find ourselves sometimes staying in relationships for years, right? And even getting married for relationships that are not conducive. Okay. It could be mental, physical, spiritual abuse, but something that is not serving our good. So anyhow, but let me tell you the good thing that came out of this relationship, right? And how I knew and was intentional. Was like, girl, you need to deal so you can heal some more. It was that little girl, that broken little girl inside of you that connected you with him. So one thing is, I ignored some red flags, right? So when you ignore red flags, especially from the beginning, this is a sign you need to deal so you could heal. One thing about him, he fed my insecurities instead of starving them, which honestly was good for me to take the step of faith and say, you know what? I know I've been single. I can't be afraid to be in a relationship again and say I want love, but don't put myself in a situation to see where I can receive it, right? So he fed my insecurities instead of starving them, which again, I didn't even know I had these insecurities. Number two, when you settle below your standards, ladies and gentlemen, potential is not the same from manifestation of action of someone. So when you have certain standards and you see the potential and the person has the potential to, they say they're going to do it, but you don't see it, you need to deal so you can heal. And the third thing is when you receive the opposite of what you desire, and when you are not becoming what you want to attract. So one of the things about this gentleman was when it came to health, for years, I always desired to be in a relationship with a man that was intentional about his health, that actually honestly worked out, and who really was higher in that level than me. And that was mainly because of the fact that I know that when it came to weight and things like that, I struggled with, right? But also I had to reflect on myself, because how can I say I want a healthy man and I wasn't being intentional, right? So I had to realize the very thing that I wanted in my life and desire, I had to become that so that I can attract and connect with that. So that was the third thing. I was receiving less than what I desire, and I wasn't becoming what I needed to attract. So let's go back. One, when you ignore red flags from the beginning and you stay there. When you settle below your standards, when you are so focused on potential and not action, okay? And you have people who you see the potential, then they grow into that potential. I'm talking about you see the potential, but the person never grow into that potential, and they're not trying to act like they're trying to. And then three, when you receive the opposite of what you desire, and you are not becoming what you desire to connect and attract. So the great thing about this, so the dude, had me feeling like, I was like, wait a minute, Ivor, you are insecure, girl. I was like, I know this is not the type of woman I want to be, as far as a wife, because he straight played me. I'm just gonna be honest, right? But I wasn't insecure. The dude was really doing something. He wasn't right, but what that did and the beauty in it is I found myself back in therapy. Because I said, girl, you need to deal so you can heal, okay? You need to deal so you can heal, so you can understand what is it within your heart that lined up with your thinking that connected you to him. So you have to understand whatever a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What's in the base of your heart, rooted in your heart. It's why you think what you think. It's why you receive what you receive. It's why you view in your perspective. So be intentional about your healing journey. If you're somebody that say, oh, I don't have to go to therapy because God's going to heal me. Let me tell you, religion had me like that for years. But the Most High God will use the tool for counseling and therapy to help you deal so you can heal. So I love you, overcomers. I hope that this really encouraged someone and for you to deal so you can heal. Have an amazing day on purpose.